Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we simulated another season in Halifax after obviously we lost a bunch of players in the offseason, and our team obviously still made the playoffs with a 45-30-7 record, so obviously not as good as in prior years, but we did expect a little bit of a drop-off. Now, that drop-off mainly came in terms of offense. We didn't score as much goals this year because obviously we lost Vlasic. We also lost Weber, so that kind of hurt us a little bit offensively. However, if you look here in terms of the entire league, we still finished as the 9th best team in the entire NHL, and in terms of goals against per game wise, we were still one of the best defensive teams in the league at 3rd, which is amazing, and there is a chance that Burkov might have won his 2nd straight Vezina, which is awesome as well. So we were good there, and our power play was actually really good in terms of the offensive load. It was number 1. However, like I said, we weren't the best offensive team in the league, so we're good on the power play. Need to find a way to score more 5-on-5 if possible. And then our penalty kill was pretty average. We did score 12 shorthanded goals though, which was the 2nd most in the league, behind obviously the team that we're going to be playing in the first round, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So it's going to be an interesting episode. Obviously, we do not know what is in store for the team this year. Obviously, last year going to the Cup Finals, we could make it to a Cup Finals again this year, or we could even have a worse fate where we just for some reason can't find a way to win in the playoffs and lose in the first round or a second round exit. So I really don't know what to expect from this team, but I'm really hoping that we could get back to a Cup Finals again, because obviously Mauricio Wilm, Ahin, and Lehman, all those guys aren't getting any younger, so this might be one of our last chances in the playoffs before we start to really see a lot of drop-off from our team. So hoping obviously that we could keep this team together in the offseason if this team obviously doesn't get out of the first round, because there's a lot of big guys up for renewal, which I didn't actually show you guys in last episode. So if we go to all expiring, you can see we have a lot of UFAs, which is not great. Habscheid's the biggest one, but then there's also like Boys, for example, which has been a little bit of a disappointment. So maybe it's time to let go of Maddox Boys and let somebody else take his reins. We also have Hamalainen up for renewal, Cardwell, who's an RFA, which we might want to lock up long term. We also have Sergeyev, Hartnell's a UFA, so there's a realistic chance we might lose some decent players this offseason, pending if they want too much money or not. So the good thing at least is we have our goaltending locked up for the next few years as well. But there is a chance that we could always send Michelli back to the minors again this playoffs, because he's been a terrible backup. And we could always call up one of these guys from the AHL, and we have also our high elite starter in the future who could come in and probably replace one of these guys as well, which is great. So our goaltending core at least is set, but in terms of like defense and stuff like that, that could obviously still change here in these last few seasons. So hoping that we have a good playoff run. Obviously, Pittsburgh, we've never played before, I'm pretty sure, in the playoffs, and they have some pretty solid players on their roster. I'll show you them again, and I'll get through you guys' comments because we have a decent amount of comments after last season, or this season, I should say. But you can see Pittsburgh is a pretty strong team in terms of their top 6. Their bottom 6 is pretty average. I wouldn't say it's below average, but they definitely have like a little bit of weird players like Wurtman, who's a 75, so a little bit weaker there, but definitely when you have a 93, a 94, and a 90, and an 88, that's pretty good. Also an 87, I guess, too. But Morozov and Lacerte are both franchise guys, or Morozov was a franchise guy. I almost forgot about him, but I do remember him getting drafted by Arizona back in those days. He was the franchise guy that got drafted. I guess that would be in year number 2. And Wilm was year number 0, so technically he was a few years after Wilm drafted. He was the 2nd franchise player of the series. And you have Guy Lacerte, who is a franchise guy that I forgot about, who was drafted 10 years ago. So the Penguins built up a pretty good core in that top 6. Also, Tom's, like I was mentioning, this guy fights a lot of players, takes a lot of penalty minutes, but he also could help out offensively. And they also have the 2 stud defenders in McKenzie and McCutcheon, so they do have some great pieces, but their goaltending is very inexperienced, and that's where I feel like we could get cheesed. So I'm a little scared about that. Cesar Richard has not played hardly any playoff games in his career. He's only had 3 games with a very bad stat line. And then you have Rich Schwartz, who I think hadn't played. Oh, he played 12 playoff games, but still has very bad stats. Has gone 5-4-3, which is interesting. So he has been able to win games in the playoffs, but with not great numbers. And then they also have very mid-depth. So I think we should be able to beat them, but obviously it's going to be firepower versus firepower. So their top offensive guys versus our top offensive guys to see who gets to round 2. But anyways, let's get into your guys' comments now before we get into this first round with the Pittsburgh Penguins. So the first comment is from Joseph D. Miller, who says, one variant rule for Draft to Glory would be allowing yourself to trade up when you lose the lottery up to the spot where you could have been drafting. So if you would have been normally picked first but ended up with the 5th pick, you could potentially trade up to 1 to 4. Just a thought for a variant that doesn't skew things too much, just gets you probably what you should have had to begin with. And that's actually a pretty good idea. I don't mind that because it obviously makes sense. It's just the draft lottery obviously sometimes screws you out of a pick. But for instance, if you had like the 8th best, I think like, yeah, if you were in number 8 or something and you fell back to like 9, or not 9, let's just say like 12, or if you could even do that, then you could actually move back up to like 8th or so. So I think that's actually a decent thing. We might take that into account next year when we do a Draft to Glory. Obviously, for this series, we're kind of nearing the end, so it doesn't really matter too much. But that could be a thing that we look to do in future Draft to Glories. So thank you for that, Joseph. The next comment is from Saturn Otaku. It says, you're still in a good position to make a deep run. Time's running out, but there's still a chance for Wilm to become Avery Parrott, 3 cups, or at worst, Asher Vance, 1 cup, instead of Raimo Jaskalainen, 0 cups. And yeah, I forgot about Raimo having 0 cups, because Houston was a series where like I thought we would have had like a good chance of winning cup, but I don't know what the reason why that team never won a cup, because we had some very good players in that series, but they like never found a way to win. And then obviously with my Ice Tiger series with Avery Parrott, we just won so many cups, and sometimes we didn't even think we were going to win a cup, and we honestly did. So it's very interesting what these Draft to Glories could do. The next comment is from Logan May, who says, Wilm after this year is 11 goals behind Gretzky, 6th in points, 19th in assists, 1st in power play points, 25th in games played, over 100 more power play goals than Gretzky, almost the GOAT, few more seasons. And I was actually looking at the record book. Normally I don't show this stuff early on into the series, or well, not early on into the series, but before the series ends. But I wanted to show you guys, not our stats here, not our records, but I wanted to show you guys in terms of the NHL. There is a good chance that Wilm will not finish as one of the best players technically in this universe, because you can see goals wise, Ovechkin, Kucherov, Matthews, McDavid, and Draisaitl all over 1,100 goals, unless that's glitched. So I don't know if Wilm will get over that, because he's over 800 goals right now. But obviously if he plays a few more years, he could. And then like in terms of like point totals, he could get to the 2,000 point mark, I think. But obviously that's going to take a lot of work as well based on his age. The assist totals, obviously I don't think he's going to get up there. And then 50 goal seasons, he's up there, which is nice. With 10 50 goal seasons, he's at number 4. And 100 point seasons, he's actually not even there yet. So I don't think he's going to reach McDavid's 17 based on that, but he might be able to crack into the top 5 on that. So he's not the GOAT in this, technically, out of the entire NHL, but he's definitely our GOAT for our team. So just thought I'd show you guys that just in case you were interested. The next comment is from Ezra Hamburg, who says, so I must have dreamt I updated the record last season, or I just flat out missed it, lol. I really should write these down and keep them all on record. Now the Halifax Raiders have a new franchise record after 18 seasons. It's now 661, 721, and 104. That should be correct. If I'm wrong, please do not make me walk the plank. Do the Raiders have a plank on their ship? And likely they do. Likely that's where we send all the players we do never want to re-sign again, like players that we have a little bit of a bad rep with. We probably let them walk the plank, and they probably get eaten by sharks or something like that. The ones that we don't mind, like say Stajan, for example, he gets to jump into free water with no sharks in it, and then he gets to swim to the nearest island, which in this case was, I guess, Tampa, which kind of makes sense. I guess you can swim probably from Halifax to Tampa, but it's probably a long-ass swim. But that's where he ended up. That's where Pierre Ball ended up. Also Joel Weber. So a couple of those guys I didn't mind having on our team. But if there was a player like I didn't like, obviously, we would just want them to be fed to the Sharks, basically. The next comment is from Flame Husky, who says, Reese's Puffs developed gold wheels. I think you missed that. I guess I did, because I don't think I realized that last episode. that Restella Rivera. Oh yeah, he does have gold wheels. I guess I must have missed that because I guess his wheels used to be a silver X Factor, but that's great to see as well. So we're having a couple players develop those gold X Factors. We now have 4 of them in our top 6, which is awesome. And then obviously our goaltender in Burkov has one. I don't know if we have any defensively. Yeah, we don't have any defensively, and I didn't even realize Kolsnik's been losing his X Factors because I'm pretty sure he had some to begin with, right? Or he had some at some points defensively, but he must have lost them. And he's actually also down to an 84 now too, which I didn't even realize at the start of this now. So that's not great. So we have a lot of guys that are definitely dropping off due to age. And then the last and final comment is from Ian.NoLove, who says, maybe it's a redemption arc for Halifax. Go Raiders, go. A sweep is needed. I feel like Wilm will spark that team like he did last playoffs. Did the AHL team make the playoffs too? And yes, the AHL team did make the playoffs, in fact, which is great. Obviously, we want them to have some success as well. And they made the playoffs, as you can see, with a 49-22-11 record. And they will be taking on the Laval Rocket in the first round. So shout out to Burnaby, and hopefully they get a good chance at a Calder Cup this year. Obviously, last year they lost in the finals just like us. So anyways, those were the comments we had in last episode. Let's get into this first round matchup and see if we can knock out the Pittsburgh Penguins. Also, my voice is still a little bit off because I am still a little bit sick, which is kind of crazy because it's been like a full-on week, around a week since I got this cold. Like a couple more days at least. But anyways, let's see what we can do. We do not have home ice advantage against Pittsburgh. The interesting thing is technically we were ahead of Pittsburgh in the standings, but they won the Metropolitan Division because our division was very stacked. The Metro was very weak. So yeah, Pittsburgh has home ice advantage even though they technically don't really need it. We did lose to them the last time we played them, which was not too long ago, and we're going into the playoffs on a 3-game losing streak. So let's see if this team can turn it around in the playoffs, and obviously, hopefully, we can get back to a finals again. I'm hoping Tampa doesn't have much success this year because this is like one of the first times they've made the playoffs in the last few years, and obviously they have 3 former players, those being Weber, Piers Bottle, and also Stajan. So if we have to run into Tampa at all in this playoff run, yeah, that's going to be not a fun time for sure. So here we go. Game number 1. Let me actually move my face because I almost forgot I have a playoff scene to do as well. So there we go. Let's get into game 1 and see if we could get a win on the road in Pittsburgh. Because obviously we should have had a home ice advantage, but they won their division. First period of game number 1. 1-0 us. Good start. Hamalainen on the power play beats Richard. We're being outshot 13-6, which is kind of a surprise. You think our team obviously would get a lot more shots, but they have some good skilled guys, so it makes sense for them to get shots. And it's good to see our power play working off the get-go this time around in the playoffs, because last year when we went all the way to the Cup Finals, our power play was definitely our worst part of our team. We only had, I think, like 2 or 3 power play goals in the entire playoff run, which obviously isn't great. So that our power play is doing good this year, hopefully we could do what we did last year and have a good power play, because maybe that will be the difference in terms of getting us a Stanley Cup this year. So good first period. Let's see if we could add to that in a second. Second period, 4-2 for us now. Okay, that's interesting. Lehman made it 2-0, which is nice. Saarinen made it 2-1. Hamalainen made it 3-1. Habscheid makes it 4-1, and then Sahonen pulls the Penguins within 2. Shots are 26-17 in favor of Pittsburgh, but we're up by a couple of goals, so the goaltending is the difference right now. Can we get some insurance and lock it down here in the third? Penalty kill, and they get a power play goal of their own. Braden Toms, of course. That guy's on the power play, and he's also a physical guy. That's really crazy. Come on, boys. We got to hold them off here. Final 10 minutes of this third period. Lacerte ties it up. I felt like we were going to blow that lead when we were up by only a pair of goals. Come on, guys. Let's get that next one. And we are going to be going to overtime in game 1. So pretty close game here so far. We are being outshot, though, 43-24. The only reason this game is actually close is because of Burkov early on. Not the best third period from Burkov, but this team really needs to get a lot more shots on goals because we're giving up a lot of chances, and we're also not getting a lot of shots of our own. We're scoring on our chances, which is good, but we need to get more shots than 24 shots through 3 periods. So can we find a way to win in overtime and not blow a 4-2 lead? Come on, boys. We need that next one. Come on, Mauricio. or somebody else. Let's go! We do score, and I don't know who it was. It was Alan Lehman, of course, the guy that sent us last year to the conference finals, I think it was. Let's go. Huge goal from Lehman. A nice 5-4 win in Game 1. Not the best effort, I would say, from the team, especially defensively like last year. But the offense definitely is still there from last year, which is pretty cool. So, Hamalainen from Habscheid in Sergeyev. Let me move my face over again. Lehman from Ahinen and Habscheid. Hamalainen from Habscheid and Sergeyev. Habscheid from Lehman and Ahinen. And then we have Lehman from Ahinen and Habscheid. So I think it was a one-line show almost in that one. So let's see. Yeah, 5-point effort from Habscheid. I don't think I was expecting that. And then Lehman had 3. Same with Ahinen. You had a couple guys on 2 points. So it was the same 5 guys that put up points in this one. And no points from Mauricio Wilm, which is kind of crazy. But what an effort from Vic Habscheid. Let's see, that was plus minuses. Yeah, a couple -2s, and it was Boys, Haken, Sergeyev. Okay. I'm surprised Mauricio wasn't able to get anything done. He only had 3 shots on goal through 26 minutes, so that's not great. And an okay effort from Burkov, and I know 7 save percentage, but obviously he allowed it 4 goals, but he did face 43 shots, so he kept us in it from the get-go, which is good. 3 stars of the game, Habscheid, Lehman, and Laserte for them, so that franchise guy on that second line. How was the face-off chart and stuff like that? Okay, not that bad. We had the only shot in the overtime period, and it was the goal, so that's kind of crazy. And it looks like Kolesnik was injured. Yep, Vitaly Kolesnik has injured his stomach. That's not great. Let me go replace player for now. But that's not a great injury to have, because that's one of our better defensive defensemen. He's also close to retirement, so that is not ideal. How long is he out for? Do we know yet? I didn't see when it said that he would return. Pending evaluation. Damn, I don't know exactly when it said that he was supposed to be back, so we might be without him for a while, which is not ideal. Let me see the defensive core and make some adjustments here. So we will go with Cardwell on the top pairing with Boys. We'll go Booze with Hartnell to stack up this pairing. And then I guess we'll go with Turnbull and Cracknell, but that's 2 right-handed Ds, which is not ideal, but it's not terrible. Yeah, I think we'll just go with that. So our defensive core gets a little bit on the weaker side, but it does give a big opportunity to Marty Cardwell to be that guy. So, and then obviously our offense was really good in that first game, especially from this second line. So hopefully we can get the other lines going a little bit too. If need be, we could always swap like Boucher and Richter and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of changes we could obviously make now in this lineup because we don't have like Vlasic and whatnot anymore. Because it does give us more flexibility too, which is good. Okay, so not a bad first game. Obviously, it does suck to lose Kolesnik due to injury, but we do have a bigger opportunity for Cardwell. And let's see if we could get another win in Pittsburgh, because winning on the road, it was nice. It would be great to take a 2-0 series lead headed home. We have the experience advantage over Pittsburgh as well, so... Well, actually, in a way, we don't, because they have been... I think they've been to the second round multiple times in the series, or the third round sometimes even. But for us, like, we only got past that second round 1 time, so... Pittsburgh might be a little bit more experienced in some ways, but at the same time, we just went to a cup finals last year, so maybe more recency bias in that sense, but... Here we go, game number 2. We won the first game in overtime. Can we win another game, and can we play a little bit better defensively in this game and also get that same goal scoring ability? First period of game 2. And it is 2-0 Pittsburgh. Oh boy. So, yeah, Burkov's having a little bit of a tough time compared to last year for sure. Obviously, it doesn't help that we're getting outshot every period so far, but Smithson and Laserte scored. A goal from Laserte is not a good one to give up with 47 seconds left. If we could have a good second period here, we could get back into this game. But, yeah, right now our play is a little bit different than last year for sure. Obviously, probably losing the top players and whatnot made it a little bit of a difference here so far, but we're still in this game. If we could get 1 goal even back in that second period, we could be back into this game, so... Second period. It is 4-1 Pittsburgh. Oh my goodness. Morozov with both their goals and Ahinen scores for us. This is not ideal. little bit of a bad defensive effort in these last 2 games. I might have to rework some lineup stuff a bit, but third period, we're down by 3 goals. I'm going to have to make some adjustments, I think, to our lineup a little bit and who's playing on what line. We also do have goalies in the AHL I could call up if I'm not liking Burkoff's play a lot, but right now he's our guy and he's paid a lot of money, so we got to keep him in for a little bit longer. And yeah, we're going to lose 4-1, so not a good offensive effort. I wouldn't say it was a terrible goaltending effort. It's probably more on the defense, but 4 goals on 31 shots, could be better. So our only goal is Ahinen from Habscheid and Lehman. So once again, that second line has been really good so far. And our top line with Wilm has no points. And we get cheesed by Cesar Richard. Yeah, we're going to make some adjustments to our lineup. Only way we maybe get back into this series. Obviously, it's tied right now at 1. But if we lose any of these games on home ice, I'm going to be a little bit scared. So it'd be nice to take both those games and not have to worry about things as much. Habscheid's been great so far, so maybe he's going to need a bigger opportunity. But Lehman has been as good as well. That entire second line has been way better than this top line. Like the top line, Hämäläinen has 2 goals, which is good, but Mauricio and Della need to be getting that offense going a lot. So what I'm going to propose is Wilm there, Ahinen there. Della can win face-offs, but I don't know if I want him there. I'm going to have Boucher. Actually, maybe I should keep him there. I'm going to go Habscheid top line as well. And then we are going to... Does Hämäläinen win face-offs? I don't think so, right? No. I guess we could keep Della down the middle. So basically, we give Wilm 2 good players point-wise right now on that top line. Lehman has to deal with playing with the worser players, but he might be able to help them out too. And in terms of the bottom 6, how's the plus minus? It's not terrible. Yeah, I think I'll keep the rest of this the same, I guess. We could always put like Hartman up in the lineup, or Hartman back to center, Richter on the wing. Because Richter has been pretty good in the playoffs in the past. So I think I'm going to move Richter up, move Sergeyev down, and then that way Richter maybe could bring in his offense from the past. And then from a defensive standpoint, trying to see the plus and minus issues. Ooh, a -3 from Hartnell is not ideal. We are going to swap Hartnell down to the top 6, and then, yeah, balance out our good defenders a little bit more. And yeah, so far Burkoff has not been great. I'm going to keep Burkoff in for 1 more game. If he doesn't play good again, there's a chance we might turn to Michelli, who was not good in the regular season. Or we could even call up somebody like Budens or Sims from the AHL. Now, the AHL team is in the playoffs right now, so I don't know if I want to fuck with their lines. But it might have to happen, so... Let's see what happens on home ice. There's a chance that we could still win both these games and be up 3-1, but also at the same time, Pittsburgh could be up 3-1, or we could have a dead even series. So this could be a series that goes 7 games, potentially, based on how it's been so far up to this point. So let's get over to Game 3 and see if Mauricio could get going, because if he and Della could get going a bit, that will definitely help us a lot in terms of the offensive load. And we need our defense and goaltending to be a bit more consistent. So first period of an important Game 3. And it's scoreless. Hey, that's much better defensively. I'll rather take a scoreless period like that than a one where we just get blown out of the water. Now, the one thing that's a little bit concerning is we've only had 1 goal on Cesar Richard since that first game. So I don't like that their goaltender's all of a sudden playing really good for like a low overall. Like I said, I feel like we could get cheesed, and so far I think that's the case right now. But we're out shooting them 12-9, so we're getting our opportunities. We just need Wilm to eventually pod one. Like, he should not be able to go scoreless in the series. Like, he should be able to score, because like Ian was saying, Wilm should be able to carry us to victory, and I'm hoping that he'll be able to get us some goals here soon. So let's see what happens in the second period, see if we can grab that lead. Second period, 1-1. Hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. Morozov scores first for them, which is not ideal. But then Turnbull, of all people, has scored before Mauricio Wilms, which is kind of concerning. But whatever, it's a tie game. Shots are 22-18. Much better game here so far from our defense. Can we get the offense that we had in game 1? Because so far our offense has definitely been on a little bit of a standstill. Let's see what happens in this third period. Come on, boys. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Power play for us, please. No. Final 10 minutes of this third period, still deadlocked at 1. Power play again for us. It's a long one this time. Maybe Tom's tackle major, but we do not score on it either. Our power play is going back to where it was last year, it seems like. And we're going to overtime in game 3, just like game 1. Obviously, last time we were in overtime, we won. But this series, obviously, if we would have lost that first game in overtime, there was a realistic chance we could be going down 0-2 into this game, which is not what I like to see. But shots are 31-26. It's been a good goaltending duel right now. Who is going to be the one to break this deadlock and win the game? Is it Mauricio's time to show up? Because he has not shown up yet. Come on, Mauricio. You got this. Let's get that win. Let's get that win. I know you have a goal in you, man. You always have goals in you. Penalty kill in overtime. Don't take penalties. Thank you. And, Pittsburgh scores, and it's McKenzie, the defenseman. And unfortunately, despite Burkoff's great performance, our offense has not been there since game 1. And we have now lost 2 in a row, only scoring 1 goal. So we're down now 2-1 in the series. We need to definitely find a way to respond offensively because the offense is not doing too well. When Turnbull scores our only goal, that's not great. Now, Wilm did pick up an assist in that game, so he did show up, but he did not score a goal. He has no goals in the first 3 games of the series. And Burkov went back to the way he was playing last year, which is great. He gets first start of the game, but the offense did not show up for him. So this time around, we get the goaltending effort that we wanted, but we didn't get that offensive effort, so that's not ideal. And Kolsnik is still out, so it must have been a long-term injury because I didn't realize what it said when it said he got injured. How long? Let's see. How long until he is back? He will be back only, I guess, after this game. April 18th. Okay. Yeah, that's good. He'll be back soon. I don't want to put him in now because he might get re-injured, but let's do some adjustments here to our lines. Try and find something. I think we're going to go back to Wilm down the middle and go back to that great second line we had. But we are going to make an adjustment to the top 6. Haken's losing morale because of ice time because he's listed as a second liner. Has he been good? He's got 11 penalty minutes. Man, this guy's been a liability in terms of taking PIMs. I don't like that at all. I was thinking of giving him first line ice time just to help his morale a bit, but I don't know about that. So I'm going to go with Richter as a top liner, just from past experience, with Della and Wilm. Hamalainen, I guess, will get demoted to a third line role, which is not ideal, but it could work maybe. We'll put Hartman down the middle with them, and then Boucher hasn't done anything after almost winning a Calder. He'll play with Sergeyev and Raymond, I guess. Yeah, probably. Defensively, I mean, we just came off a good defensive game, so maybe I'll keep that the same. But our offense has not been existent, which is not great. So that's a little bit of a reworked top 6 a bit. It's not too much reworked, but if we can find our offense this game and tie the series at 2, I'll be happy with that. But obviously, we need a much more consistent offensive effort. Like 2 goals in our last 2 games is not great. Like I said, our offense did fall off in the regular season, so it kind of makes sense that we're not scoring as much. But obviously, we still need to have those games where we do score. It's good to see that our defense was good last game and our goaltending was good. But obviously, that also has to be a bit more consistent too, because the first 2 games, not so much. This third game, though, was really good. So let's see if we could tie the series up, because obviously if we fall down 3-1, there's a realistic shot that we're going to be knocked out in the first round. But if we are able to obviously win this game, it's going to be a best of 3 potentially to see who ends up going to the next round. Well, I guess it will be a best of 3 regardless, but it might not go all 3. So here we go. This is a crucial game for our team to win. We're on home ice, so hopefully we could use that to our advantage here and get it to a tie series again for Game 5 back in Pittsburgh. First period of a crucial game. Down 2-1. God damn it. 2 goals on 9 shots. Hartman does score for us, so we do have a goal in the first period, which is nice, but we've only scored 1 goal over these last few games as well. So it makes me worried that our offense is not going to be able to find a way to tie this up. But Laserte and Hartikainen, Hartman for us. Shots are 9-8. It's a 2-1 game, so pretty even first period for the most part. But we definitely need to find a way to tie this game up in the second period, because if they get more insurance on top of this, it's going to be a tough hill to climb. Second period. 2-2. There we go. That's what we want to see. Reese De La Rovere has decided to show up. It's a 2-2 game, despite us being outshot 27-12. So Burkov is getting back to where he was last year with these last 2 games for sure. He's holding us in this game just like he did last game. Can he hold us on? And can our offense find a way to score another goal despite only having 12 shots on goal at this point? Come on, boys. We could do this. Let's get that win. If Mauricio could score here, that would be huge, because since De La Rovere showed up, maybe Mauricio will as well. And yes, he will. Let's go. I love it when I just call up on a player and I literally just do exactly what the doctor ordered, so to speak. Let's go. But Sexsmith ties the game up, of course. Come on, boys. You got this. I believe in you. And we're going to a third overtime here in round 1, so at this point, which is kind of crazy, we could have already been down 0-3 and been on the brink of elimination, but we're still in the series. If we get that next goal, we at least tie the series up, but we're being outshot 40-23. So we're kind of lucky that Burkov has been playing as good as he has. But it is good that Mauricio Wilm has shown up. But is it too late, or are we going to find a way to get that overtime winner and tie the series up? Come on, Mauricio. You got another one in you. I know you do. Usually you score in bunches when you do score. Let's see what happens in overtime. See if we could tie this series up, headed to Pittsburgh. Come on. We need that next one. Power play for us. And we do not score on it again. Our power play has been very inconsistent since that first game. Because we did score on the power play in game 1, but hey, and there we go. Now we get a goal. And was it a power play goal? No, it wasn't. But Hämäläinen with a huge goal to save our season potentially. We got outshot 46-31, and we have escaped with a victory on home ice. And now we have a best of 3 coming up with the Penguins to see who gets to round 2. This has been a crazy series so far up this point. Hartman from Hämäläinen and Haken, the 3 H's, so Triple H, just kind of crazy. De La Rovere from Turnbull, Wilm from Richter and De La Rovere, and then Hämäläinen from Ahin and Habscheid. So Wilm and De La Rovere showing up in a big game. You love to see it. Hopefully that opens the floodgates for their goal scoring in the future. But Hämäläinen and De La Rovere with both 2 points, and then a bunch of guys on 1 point. A little bit better effort, and yeah, Burkov is definitely starting to find his game, which is exactly what we need from him. I did say that we could potentially go to another goaltender, and I guess he took that to heart, and he's now playing really good again. Hämäläinen the first star, Laserte the second star, and De La Rovere the third star. Surprised that Burkov didn't get a star in that game, but I guess it's because he allowed 3 goals, but it's okay. Okay, Kolesnik is back. That's great news. Obviously, it's always good to have Kolesnik back, even though was a liability at some points defensively. It's good to have our defense back to full health. I think it wasn't Turnbull. That was Cracknell, right? Yeah, it was Cracknell. So Cracknell will come back out, and we will get Kolesnik back in. And we will... We'll put him where Turnbull is, I guess, instead. Yeah. Trying to see if there's any better combinations. I think we'll go with something like that. Keep our defense a little bit balanced. And yeah, Burkov's back up to a 9-16 now, after those first 2 games not being so good. Love to see it. And we'll keep our offense the exact same, and hope that it could spark us a little bit. Okay, so we've been to overtime 3 times in 4 games, which is not ideal. But we do have a tie series headed to Pittsburgh. This is a big game for both teams. Pittsburgh wins this, they go up 3-2 and have a chance to eliminate us on our home ice. We win this game, we have a chance to eliminate them on our home ice. So, can we do it? Can we take a series lead? Because we only had a series lead when we won game 1. and then we lost the next 2, and then we took the series back to ties. So can we take a series lead here and have a chance to eliminate them in the next game? Come on, boys. Build off that last game. Come on. And hopefully Burkhoff continues to play great. First period of Game 5. 2-0 Pittsburgh. Burkhoff's a little bit inconsistent right now. 2 goals on 10 shots. We had 15 shots on goal, so that might be one of our best first periods in terms of getting opportunities. However, we didn't score on any of them, and they scored on both their chances, or 2 of their 10 shots. So they're shooting 20% right now, which is not ideal. Meanwhile, we have no goals on 15 shots. So can we find a way to get back into this game in the second period? Because like I said, if we could get at least a goal in the second period, that helps sets us up for a potential comeback in the third. But it would be very nice to get 2 goals back of our own. So we need a big second period here if possible. And we cannot allow them to score any goals at this point. Second period. It is 3-2. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, we scored 2 goals to tie it up. Lehman and Sergeyev on the power play, and then Radulov gives them the lead. We're out shooting 27-22, so we're getting our opportunities, and we're still in this game because of a good second period. I didn't want them to score any goals in that period, which is not great, but for the fact that we are able to get back to a tie game at one point is good. Shows that our team is actually able to score still at this rate. So let's see if we can find a way to tie this game up in the third. That would be huge if we can. And see if we could get this potentially to another overtime, because we've been to so many overtimes before. Power play for us, saying we get a goal from Richter to tie it up, but they answer right back. Are you serious, Burkhoff? You've been playing so good up to this point, and of course you allow a goal right afterwards. Final 5 minutes. Come on, let's get that next one. I know you have one in you, boys. Please. Ah, Laddie, the empty net. And unfortunately, we're going to lose 5-3 in a game that I feel like we probably could have won if Burkhoff was a little bit stronger. We outshot them 42-34, but Burkhoff a little bit off his game, and we lose that one by a minuscule amount. And now Pittsburgh has a chance to eliminate us in their home building. But if we're able to win Game 6, it could come down to that Game 7, obviously. Lehman from Ahinen, Cardwell, Sergeyev from Ahinen, Richter from Habscheid. And yeah, unfortunately that goal right after was a bad one to give up. It was literally 35 seconds later that we allow a goal. So we got to not do that. That's definitely not how you win games. Just ask my Ottawa Senators right now how they do that. Well, actually, not actually as I'm recording this, but a few days ago at least, or a few weeks ago, they were literally just giving up goals right after they would score all the time. So, a lot of minus players on the team in that one. And yeah, Burkhoff really struggled. I don't like how inconsistent he is right now, but that's okay. I don't really want to go to another goaltender, so I think I'm going to hold him in just because he's our guy. But we definitely need to find a way to play better in front of him as well. Because it's basically goaltending and defensive play is kind of like a team effort, obviously, right? You need to have good goaltending and defense to be a good defensive team. You can't have just one. You can't have just good defenders, because if your goaltender sucks, then he's not going to be that good. Or your team's not going to be that good defensively. So I think we're going to make some adjustments defensively. Let me see who's been really badly minus, because I'm likely going to scratch Hartnell, I think, of all people. Because to me, I believe he's been a liability. Oh, man. That top parent. Oh, my goodness. Come on. Yeah, Hartnell's been tragic. Kolesnik's been tragic. We got to rework some things. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to go Cardwell and Kolesnik, because I want to keep those guys in the lineup, even though they're both -3. Booze is a plus. Yeah, I think Hartnell's going to get scratched. Yeah, I think Hartnell's going to get scratched in the next game. Turnbull's been a +4. Yeah, well, he's not playing that much ice time, I guess. But, yeah, we're going to take Hartnell out for Cracknell. And I think Cracknell... Well, yeah, he was a +1. So Hartnell's going to get scratched in a big game, but he needs to learn that he needs to be better defensively. Because regular season-wise, he was okay, but this year in the playoffs, he's a -5 in 5 games. He's got 5 penalty minutes. Take a seat, Hartnell, and think about what you've done. Because it's not on our goaltending, it's definitely on our defensive play a little bit, I think, here. From an offensive standpoint, any really badly minus players? A couple -2s on that fourth line. Yeah, it's been, I guess, those guys on the fourth line, which means I'm going to change a little bit about this line here. I'm going to go with Sergeyev there, and Haken's going to go down to the fourth line with Raymond and Boucher. Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. And then, yeah, defense is good. Goaltending is good. I guess we'll go with something like that. Richter hasn't really done too much since being on that top line. I'm going to swap him and Habscheid because might as well try and get as much chemistry throughout this lineup as possible. And I think that's pretty much what we're going to do. We need to win 2 straight games. I don't think I want to call up anybody from the minors. Yeah, nobody's really ready anyways, except for like Mangone. Fragapane would be okay. I could call up one of the goalies, but it's kind of pointless. Both of them are having good playoffs right now. Might as well let the AHL team keep cooking. And yeah, I guess we're going to go into this game and hope that we could keep our season alive here, because if we get eliminated in the first round after losing in the Cup Finals, I don't know if we get back to a Cup Finals at this rate, because there's a chance that we lose guys to retirement this offseason, and there's a chance that a lot of guys continue to drop off throughout these next few seasons. So we just got to hope that we could win 2 games here. At this point in time, though, we could literally have been in a really bad spot because we won in overtime here, but we could have lost that game. Then we lost this game. Then we lost the next one in overtime. Then we won in overtime. So we could technically have been swept by then, and we could have lost 5 in a row at this point in time, but we didn't. So hopefully we could get this win on home ice. We've been in overtime both times we were on home ice prior to this. Let's see if we could force ourselves to a Game 7 back in Pittsburgh, and hopefully we could win that game. Real-time simulation. Our season comes down to this. Can Mauricio keep this team alive? Let's see what he can do, because he has not really done too much up to this point in time. We do score first. Alan Lehman. Good to see him show up, because he hadn't shown up since, I think, game 2 or 3, when him and Habscheid had a lot of points. Penalty kill. Nicely done. Solid start to this game. And a big goal from Reese Del Rivera, so that's good to see Reese Del Rivera show up. And then Setzinger answers right back for Pittsburgh, which is not great, but we do have a 2-1 lead after the first period. Shots are 10-6, so not the most shots in goal in the world, but we do have 2 goals on our 10 shots. They have 1 on 6, so Burkov a little bit rusty in this game to start, but hopefully he can start to find himself in the second period, and hopefully we can get our way with this lead that we have right now, and maybe get some insurance if possible as well, because that will make it a little bit more safe. Let's see what happens in the second period, see if we can get that next goal, because that next goal is definitely crucial, especially for both teams. Halfway through this second period, still up by a goal. Come on. Oh my goodness, of course I had to say it, and then Smithson ties it up, but a huge answer from Habscheid, and we have the lead right back. That's a good answer. That's a great answer. Final few minutes of this second period, and we're going to be up by a goal going into the third, which is kind of a scary lead to have, to be honest. But shots are 24-19. We're up by a goal. Can we get some insurance here early in the third, lock down this game, and then go to an important Game 7 when anything could happen? You got this, boys. You got this, Burkov. I know you could just basically shut down the Penguins. You had done that in the past. You shut down teams in the playoffs. You could do it again. And can our offense get some insurance to make us feel a little bit more safe? Let's see what happens in this third period. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Literally early in, 59 seconds into the period, they score. But we do answer right back again. Hamalainen on the power play. Mauricio scores as well. That's a huge goal from Mauricio to put us up by 2. Is it enough to hold off the Penguins and get to Game 7? Final 5 minutes. Looks like we are going to be going to a Game 7, maybe? Yes, we are. Okay, good. Jesus. That hard-to-kind of goal with 12 seconds left was a little bit scary, to be honest. If Mauricio did not score, we'd be going to another overtime, but we are going to be going to Game 7 back in Pittsburgh. This has been a very back-and-forth series at this point in time. A lot of overtimes, a lot of close games. It's pretty nuts. So Lehman from Boyes and Del Rivera from Habscheid and Wilm. Habscheid from Cardwell and Kolsnick. Hamalainen from Sergeyev and Boucher. And Wilm from Cracknell. So let's take a look at our players' stats here. A couple plus threes, which is nice to see. A lot of guys with a point in that one as well. Any badly minus players? Not really. A couple minus ones, which is not terrible. Burkov needed to be a little bit better in that one, but once again, he's kind of inconsistent at this time, I guess, but it is what it is. Wilm gets first star of the game, so shout out to Mauricio for showing up, Habscheid the second star, and Della the third star. So we are going to a Game 7. The question is, do we want to make any adjustments for Game 7? Because we're still kind of having a lot of games where we allow a lot of goals. Because game number 1, we allowed 4 goals. Game 2, we allowed 4 goals. Then we had a good defensive effort, only allowing 2 goals. Then we allowed 3 goals. We allowed 5 goals. We allowed 4 goals. We have definitely still been a little bit bad defensively compared to the regular season. So, don't really like that too much. But honestly, who knows what happens in this Game 7. So, I think we're going to keep the team the exact same. Which means Hartnell's still going to be scratched. Habscheid's been amazing so far. 10 points in 6 games. He's definitely been one of our best players, or our best player, I should say. Trying to think of what we could do if there's anything else I want to do. I haven't really liked how Richter's played, to be honest. He hasn't done much. Hamalainen's been much better, so let's go to Hamalainen on that second line. Richter down again in the lineup. And yeah, we'll have him as a winger next to Hartman and Sergeyev. I think, yeah, that works. And actually, let me take a look at the defensive stats here. Look at those plus minuses. Yeah, see, Turnbull and Cracknell don't play a lot, so they have a solid plus minus. Cracknell's also picked up 2 assists in 4 games. So I still don't like Boys' plus minus and Kolsnik's and Cardwell's, but that's okay. Hopefully they get better in the second round if we get there, which is a chance that we could get there. So we need to go to a Game 7 with Pittsburgh. It's been a back and forth series pretty much. Winner of this game will go on to the second round and probably get eliminated just based on my prior experience with this game, but who knows. Tampa has made it to round 2, which kind of sucks. That means Stajan, Piero Zabotl, and Weber are on to round 2. Washington's on to round 2. Florida is as well. Seattle is, which means Paco, I think it is on to round 2. LA, Arizona, and nobody else so far on to round 2. Okay. So Game 7, all for the marbles. This episode's been a little bit of a long episode for a first round, but that's okay. Can we go to the second round, or are we going to be packing our bags? We're in Pittsburgh, so we got to win this game on the road. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. This is a crucial game. I wish we had home ice advantage in this series, kind of, but it is what it is. Pittsburgh opens the scoring, and it's the physical guy, Toms. Do we have an answer for them? Final 5 minutes of this first period, still down by a goal. And I feel like I'm about to sneeze, but late goal from Richter. Let's go, Richter. Yeah, I literally almost sneezed right there. Okay. But Richter ties the game up. I did just call him out. He hadn't been scoring, but now that he's back on his third line again with guys like Hartman, he is able to score, which is nice. Shots are 8-7, so not really a whole lot of shots in that first period, but both teams able to score a goal up to this point. Can we get the lead after that nice late goal? Huge second period here. Come on, guys. Laddie takes the lead for Pittsburgh. I don't like that penalty kill. Don't take penalties, boys, please. Power play for us. We do not score on it. Another close game, it seems like, at this point in time. Can we find a way to tie this game up again? Oh, a big goal from Chromiak for the Penguins. They're up by a pair. That's not good. And we're down by a pair of goals going into the third despite outshooting him 21-16. Burkov's having a tough time here. Maybe I should have went to a different goalie at a different point, but Burkov's been the man in the past. And so far, he's not having a good playoffs here after potentially winning his second straight Vezina. We're 20 minutes away from being eliminated in the first round after going to the Cup Finals. And obviously, I know this is Ian's probably going to have his mental health even go worse because of this series, but we got to power through anyways. We'll have a lot of fun with how these players' career wraps up, but I feel like there's no Stanley Cup coming to this team if we're going to be eliminated here in this first round. We need a strong showing in this third period. Mauricio needs to show up. Della needs to show up. Anybody needs to show up if we want to extend our season. Let's see what happens. Come on, guys. Please get an early goal to give me hope. Please. We're not even doing that. Oh, there we go. Haken, of all people, pulls us within 1. Come on, boys. Kill this off, please. Nicely done. Power play for us. We do not score on it. I might honestly have to... Oh! Mauricio ties the game up. Let's go, Mauricio. Mauricio says hell no. And we're going to intervene here with 3:49 left. I know it's kind of weird to intervene here in a Game 7 of the first round, especially when this episode's long as shit. But we're going to intervene, and we're going to literally watch and see what ends up happening. So this could end up being a very long episode for a first round, but we got to see what happens here. See if we could get to that second round. Let's do it. Let's do it. See if we can get to that round 2. Oh my goodness, my voice is literally dying on me. I need to drink some water here. Okay, here we go. We're in Pittsburgh. 3-3 game with 4 minutes left. We come back from a 3-1 deficit in this third period, looking to get ourselves to that second round. Can we do it? Kolesnik just got blown up. Jeez. And Cardwell nearly went offsides. And he throws it back into his own zone. Why are you back skating right there, man? You got to turn around. Richter up to Sergeyev. We're looking to extend our season here. Richter with his yellow skates getting destroyed. What's with these hits? Jeez, man. Oh, almost a fight here too. Breaking out in the corner. Who is that? Radulov and Sergeyev stuck up for his teammate. Both of them will get an offsetting minors, so I guess we're going to play some 4-on-4 for majority of the rest of this third period. Well, I mean, I would get into a fight about that hit too. That was a pretty big hit by Radulov. Sergeyev not happy with him, but no fight breaks out. Oh boy, we got to watch out for Hartikainen, I guess. Habscheid's up there in points after this first round so far. Mauricio up there against Morozov, the two franchise guys. Love to see it. Cardwell finds Lehman. So we got Lehman and Wilm, the old dogs, out there, which is nice considering both of them are getting closer to retirement. I don't know who that defender is, number 68, but I don't know why he jumped in so much. That was a bit risky. I think that's Cardwell. Nice little... Oh, no, that was Cardwell. That's Cracknell. And they take another penalty. We will have ourselves a 4-on-3 for almost the remainder of this third period. And potentially some of overtime will have a bit of power play time too, but this is crucial. We get that next goal, like I said, we win the series potentially. Obviously, if we give up one, that would be very tragic, but here we go. We got a couple of big players out there. Wilma's at the point. We got Ahin and Del Rivera, and probably Lehman, my guess, which means a lot of the main guys here on this team. No, it's not Lehman. It's a defenseman, I think. Wilm finds Del Rivera. I don't know if that hit the post or not. Habscheid with it. Wilm. Del Rivera shot in Richard with the save. I don't know if that hit the post or what, but it came out weirdly. Wow. I always like watching these games with our jerseys. It's just really cool to see us in action because we haven't really seen us in action that much in these playoffs in game. So, might as well jump in now and again. Ahinen at the draw, can't win it. Del Rivera spins, finds Wilm. Wilm walks in, a shot, and Richard snares it down. Yeah, this might end up being over an hour long episode, and you guys are going to be like, why is this first round over an hour long? Well, maybe I took a little bit too much time with this, but whatever. You guys might like it anyways being this long too. So Ahinen at the draw again. Nice quick draw win. Wilm. We got the pressure, and Richard another save. Well, we're getting chances here, which is good. And having Ahinen with that quick draw is very beneficial at this time. And the fact that we have pressure as well. We might be able to find a way to crack a goal here late. Or we would go to overtime. Ahinen wins another draw. Habscheid a bomb, and Richard will freeze it again. We literally had like 4 or 5 shots right off the face-off. And Richard just keeps freezing them because he has no other option. He should be getting a little bit tired, but he's not. He's got that stamina up there still because he just keeps freezing it. If we could get him to scramble, we might be able to score. And into Wilm. Wilm walks in again, and Richard's just going to keep doing the exact same thing. Another frozen puck with 16.7 seconds left in this third period. Come on, guys. We got to get it done. 4-on-3 for 7 more seconds before we have ourselves our normal power play. Cardwell walks in, a shot! Oh my goodness, a huge save by Richard. And they might be able to get this to go to overtime here. Garrison walks in, nice poke check. And Radulov's walking in. Oh my goodness. I thought they were going to go for a short-handed goal right there. And we're going to be going to overtime in Game 7 of Round 1. This might not even matter in the end of it. Who knows? Maybe we're going to just go to round 2 and then get destroyed. But still, we've been out shooting him 38-20. We need to find a way to win in overtime. And this episode's going to be long as hell if maybe end up going to like a double overtime. But we need to find a way to score here on this power play that we have. I don't even know how much time we're going to have left on our power play because it's not going to show because that's a bit of a glitch, I think. Come on, get it away. They have, oh my goodness. Oh my god. Aren't we still on the power play, or is it now 5-on-5? Oh my goodness. Burkov with some huge saves, and he's glitching out like a crazy guy. And Ahinen has taken a penalty, so it's 4-on-4 again. He takes a slashing penalty on that play. I didn't even realize. God damn it, Liam. Why did you do that? Oh man, so 4-on-4 for 59 seconds, but a huge save there. And I don't even know why they were going so offensive on the penalty kill, but that's okay, I guess. Wilm against Morozov again, and he wins it. So we got 4-on-4 for a little bit, and then they're going to get a power play opportunity, which is not great. Lehman walking in with his wooden stick, can't get by. And our power plays, our 4-on-4 is nearly over. And there it is, Pittsburgh onto the power play. A chance out front, huge save by Burkov. I love his pads, though. His pads are awesome. They're on the power play for 50 seconds. It's a long one. Just got to keep it in their zone if possible. Morozov with it, their franchise guy. Get away from him. Nice play. Oh, yikes. Jeez. Tom's wearing 68 and also the captaincy. He's looking like Yarmer Yager out there. Jeez. Come on, boys. Just keep it out. Wilma's on the penalty kill right now, which is interesting. Smithson. Garrison, get it away. Oh my goodness, are you serious? That's going to be the goal that gives them the win. And your Halifax Raiders are going to be eliminated in the first round by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Another reason for me to hate the Penguins. That really sucks. I don't even want to see them celebrate. Screw that. Man. He came all the way back to watch us lose in overtime. Just a simple little play. I don't know why Lehman decided not to cover Garrison more. But he leaves him open, and then Garrison's able to just walk right down the slot. And in this kind of the screen here. It's not really a screen, I guess, but I don't know what the hell that defensive play by Kolesnik is. But, man, that sucks a lot. That could be our last playoff run, potentially. I wanted to see Mauricio again. Get maybe a good-looking screenshot of him, even though it's at a bad time. Let's get a screenshot of that. Let me actually go no face cam again for a second. And let me press return. Screenshot, boom. And then we'll go back to that and go back to this, boom. I just needed that screenshot of Mauricio, but that is a disappointing way to end this. Disappointing. We still have a chance to obviously win cups in the future, but we've been knocked out in the first round after going to the cup finals. That just never feels good. Let's take a look at our player stats for the first round, and then I don't think we're going to look at retirements and awards and stuff in this episode. I feel like I want to, though, is the thing. But this episode's like 58 minutes. And maybe we will still. We'll see. So, in terms of our offensive production, I had really no problems with the offense. Obviously, some guys weren't showing up as much as they should have. Like, they showed up a bit too late. Like Wilman and whatnot. But, like, Del Rivera only had 3 points. So, a couple guys a little bit not doing too well. And in the plus-minus department on the offensive thing, like, a lot of guys weren't doing that well defensively. We were also taking a bit too much penalties, it looks like. Yeah, we were very aggressive against the Penguins. Because you had Lehman with 11 penalty minutes, or gave it a 10, but Haken had 21 penalty minutes. So he might have single-handedly killed us. Defensively, yeah, the plus-minus issue on a lot of our top guys, not great. Not great at all. But our lower-end guys were really good. And then Burkov was very inconsistent this year, which obviously doesn't help. So there is that. I guess we'll see who ends up winning the cup and whatnot in this episode. I was probably going to leave that to next episode, but we're at this point in time anyways, so might as well. The AHL team's still in the playoffs, which is great. We'll see if they end up winning the Calder Cup this year. but knowing my luck, they're not going to. They might be going back to the finals. Can they win the Calder Cup potentially this season? Yes, they do. I just saw the morale thing. Burnaby wins the Calder Cup, so at least there's a Draft to Glory AHL team, I guess, winning something. But the Dallas Stars are the Stanley Cup champions this year. Okay. Hey, at least our AHL team won the Calder Cup. That looks pretty nice. Sexsmith with the 23 points in 21 games. I think that's in his rookie season, too. It's pretty nice. So at least we have something to be happy about, but it's not the NHL team. And Pittsburgh went all the way to the Cup Finals, and Tampa was knocked out in the Conference Finals, okay? So we lose to the best team in the East, and the Dallas Stars are your Cup champions. I don't know if there are any former players that are on the Dallas Stars. I don't think so, because I did look at a lot of teams' rosters last night. Oh, this is the team with Cecilios. Okay. Yeah, I can kind of see why they won, and don't see anybody that used to play for us there. Nobody there. Sonnenberg. No. He's like friggin' Dinkelberg now. He had a terrible regular season in terms of save percentage and goals against, but his playoff numbers the last few years have been really good. He had 5 shutouts en route to a Stanley Cup win. Well, shout out to Kalle Sonnenberg, who never did that with us, but the Dallas Stars are the Stanley Cup champions this season. Let's take a look at those awards. So Dallas Stanley Cup, President's Trophy went to Dallas as well, so shout out to Dallas. Okay. Celios, the Arturos, Simon, the Hart, Whitmore, the Norris, Lekirmaki, the Lady Bing, Weiss, the Calder, DeCelios, the Conn Smythe, and Burkhoff did win his 2nd straight Vezina, which is awesome, so at least he's been a great regular season guy, but playoffs still have a little bit to be desired, a little bit. Schneider, DeJennings, Dimitra won the Masterton, that's our former defenseman. I know he was like a minus 40-something this season. Gudis, the Jack Adams, Howe, the Selke, Simon Lindsay, and Cecilios, the Richard. AHL-wise, any awards? Heikkila was the best rookie. Love to see it. Sexsmith was the best player in the playoffs. Love to see that, too, obviously, considering he won the Calder Cup. And there is that. Actually, I do want to take a look at the player stats in the AHL playoffs, I guess. They won over Bakersfield. But just in case you guys wanted to see who did what in the AHL playoffs, I'll just skim through this. It's probably based because we have really good goaltending down there. That's my guess. Oh yeah, for sure. Boudin's with a 926. And then Sims only played 2 games, and one of them he had a shutout in. So he didn't allow a single goal through 65 minutes. Awesome. Love to see a good job, AHL team. Congrats on winning something that our NHL team will never do. It seems like at this rate, at least. I'm not going to sim to retirements and stuff yet, I don't think, in this episode, but I did want to show you guys, obviously, the contract situation, the progress reports, and the draft class. I know we're over an hour long at this point, unless I have to make a lot of cuts, which there's a chance I might have to. But yeah, all these guys up for renewal, which is going to cost us a lot of money. So I don't know who comes back. You guys could let me know if any of these guys should not come back. But yeah, that's not fun. In terms of progress reports, are we seeing drop-off? Yes, we are. We're seeing drop-off from Wilm, who's down to a 91 now. Kolsnik's dropped down to an 82. Ahinen boys have dropped off as well. There's a good chance we see some retirements in either the next episode or in future episodes soon too. Because who knows, maybe Wilm retires in the next episode. I hope not, but that could be something that happens. Just saying. But we are also getting a lot of growth from the guys in the system, but it might be too little too late on some of them, which isn't ideal. That goaltender prospect, though, is up to a 74 after 1 year, so he should technically be playing in the AHL, but none of our goalies are up for renewal. So that's interesting. Don't really know about what to do about that. Maybe just keep him unsigned, but he should technically be an AHL goalie at this rate. We might have to run 3 goalies in the NHL next year. And finally, the draft class. We already looked at this a little bit, I think, a couple episodes ago. But I just want to see if there's any good potential guys we could get. More medium elite goalies. A medium elite sniper. Center sniper, Mitei Erat. That would be great to pick up. But there's also, he probably won't make it before the series ends. Likely. But still, medium elite at least needs a forward. Any low leads, though, that could potentially be wild cards. Let's see. It would be nice to get a low elite. There's one. Jan Ozens. He's 19 years old and 2 years out. I like that a lot, too. And he's not supposed to go till 257. So we might be able to get ourselves some really good players here that could make it before the end of the series. This Karpitsev guy also looks decent. This guy not so much, but there is a couple guys that I wouldn't mind. Like this guy even looks like he could be decent too. But he also could be like a high top 6 or not a high top 6, a low 6. So we might be able to get some decent players for our team, but obviously we're definitely falling off a little bit. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode. So really sucks to lose in the first round, but I guess that's part of this type of series. Obviously this offseason could go pretty well for us, but also the team could lose a lot more players, and we might honestly be a team that's starting to fall back a lot faster than I actually predicted to. So let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.